Hello everyone, I'm Tremayne. Today we're going to be talking about Days of Our Lives. There's lots of exits coming down the pike. This is going to be a rumor mill video because some of these exits are basically in a rumor mill but are most likely going to happen. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it. I get lots of questions of people asking me because the rumors are out there. So I'm going to address the rumors, let you know what's most likely going to happen, and then give me your opinion in the comment section what you think about the characters that I'm going to discuss with you, and how do you feel about them leaving. And before we get into it, let's go ahead and hit that like button so YouTube knows a good channel for soap fans. Also, if you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? I have great soap news. I'm now doing some primetime shows. So, now's a great time to be a Soap Fams member. Subscriber, and we also have the membership where you get early videos, early access to videos. You get news first, you get videos first. You will have seen this video before I released it for the rest of the Soap Fam, because that's one of the perks you get for being a member. You get early access to videos. So now one of the things we're going to talk about is Ron C's comments after Abigail was killed on the show. So Ron C has said, now I've read many quotes and I've seen that, a lot of sites don't have all the quotes. So some of it's just going to have to be from my memory. But I did take some of the notes, things he said, and I'm going to talk to you about them now because it's important to know the mindset of the show, the writers, the producers, how they feel about the actors, and their unwillingness to sign contracts to be on the show full time. So one of the first comments was by Ron Carpellotti, the head writer of the show. For us and for the audience, it's always heartbreaking for a character to die because we love these characters and they are part of our lives and part of our family. Even though they're fictional, it hurts anytime we kill somebody. In this instance, it was mostly for practical reasons because Marcy was not going to be available to us full-time on contract, and it made it challenging to tell a story for Chad and Abigail. So we didn't really have the option to have Abigail around, and then that always becomes a problem when one half of the couple is not going to be available to you. What's the solution at that point? Kate has been willing to come back. Now, when he's talking about Kate, he's talking about Kate Manzi, the previous Abigail. However, she also did not want to come back on contract. So he said that you run the risk of being in the exact same position that when Kate leaves, what do you do with Abigail? Then the option would be to recast, yet again with someone who may be willing to be here on a more permanent basis, but then you're dealing with a new face. We've been very lucky in recasting Abigail, but you don't always know if it's going to work. So ultimately, we decided to kill a character. Now, other than Kate Manzi coming back and saying the reason why they didn't bring her back, and then we talked about recasting, but also saw in other interviews he says having one person stay and one person leave. So we've seen that too, like with Will and Sonny. The actor playing Sonny, he wants to be on the show. The actor playing Will does not want to be on the show. So now you've got Sonny in Salem, about to be the head of Demira with his husband, in another state, Arizona. So how can you write a loving relationship and storylines that the couples have to face if half of your couple is in another state because the actor's not available to you? They chose to kill Abigail, but he did say there was a possibility for her to return because it's Salem. So we'll see if Abigail does eventually return. I'm sure it will be with an actress that is on contract. So we talked about some of Ron's statements, and I have one more. Ron has made it clear that the studio will not be as accommodating as it has in the past with actors that are major players and part of a couple who are not willing or are not able to sign full-time contracts. So Now we know why, when it came to Chad and Abigail, they decided Abigail had to go. Next, we have Lonnie and Eli. So, Sal Towers and Lamont Archie have officially announced their exits and are leaving the show. I think his last day is going to be Friday, July 1st. And then Lonnie will be exiting the following week. She has some emotional scenes with Abe, as her character is leaving too. So the same thing happened. That the reason why they got rid of Abigail is the same reason why they got rid of Sal and Lamont. Both of those actors were on full contracts, and they both came to them and said, "Can we be put on reoccurring?" Because they wanted to do different things. In a recent interview, Ron talked about how the reason why they had Eli in a coma is because Lamont wasn't available. He was doing All American, the TV show All American on CW. So, they said they made it work by him being shot, but they just had to do what they had to do. But with both actors not wanting to be on the show, and offering to just be back reoccurring, how do you write for that? So we are losing Lonnie and Eli. Next is Sierra and Ben. So the rumor is, because right now it was a rumor, but it looks like it's going to be true. Sierra and Ben are leaving in July. And the reason why is something we've talked about often on this channel, which is that Victoria Cohnfall does not want to sign a full-time contract. She has done full interviews where she has said she does not want to be on Days of Our Lives full-time. She's trying to have a movie career. She's trying to do some other things as an actress. And Days of Our Lives is not her priority. Her priority is having her career expand and grow in other parts of the acting world. Now, Robert Scott Wilson, who plays Ben, has also said in interviews that he will be on the show as long as they want him. He does not want to leave the show, period. So what do you do with Ben and Sierra when the actor playing Ben wants to stay and the actor playing Sierra wants to go? And we've seen, there was a interview when she first came back with the amnesia storyline, where they said that they love Victoria and that they're going to try their best to work around her schedule. Now you see that they're now changed their tune. They don't want to work around these actors' schedules. They want them to come to work and do what they're supposed to be doing. If they're a major character and they're in a major couple, they want to be able to write for that couple, and it's not really even fair for the fans for them to find reasons why they break up. They're in different states. They're trying to stop those situations. So the rumor is Robert, since he's staying, and we've actually seen him on Instagram posting pictures of him in his dressing room saying, he's glad to be back to work. So here's the rumor that's been flying all around Twitter. Robert is staying, but because he'll be in a new role, the role of Alexander Kyriakis, which is Justin and Angelica's son. This is really good news for Robert, because while they're going to have Ben, Sierra, and Baby Bo sail off to their happy ending, that's probably how Beyond Sailing will end. Because like I said, this is a rumor and a little speculation that it makes sense for Sierra to see her mother. You got Ghost Bo over there, and Hope is giving them their boat. So they're going to sail off to their happy ending, and Sierra fans can basically be content that their faves have got their happy ending. Killing Sierra off didn't work. They have this psychic connection. So we've seen that Robert, while Victoria was off doing her thing, They tried to pair him up with Claire and different actresses. He had great chemistry with everybody he was paired up with. But because Ben and Sierra are so tied together now, what do you do? So it's a great thing that Alexander Kyriakis is reported to be his new role, because he can get behind that stigma of being the necktie killer. A lot of people still only see him as necktie killer, even though Will's back to life. A lot of people will never forgive him for Paige. So this gives him a fresh start with a new character that's a legacy character, part of a major family. And we've had Victor looking for people to take over. He's got Sonny begrudgingly doing it. Brady don't want to do it no more. So, we could even have him in that role. And then we can also see Robert's chemistry with other characters. Maybe it'll be Gabby, or someone else. I'm trying to think of people in this age range. But or Chloe, so there's lots of possibilities of him coming back as Alexander and really shaking things up and being paired with some new people that want to actually stay on the show. So the other thing is Bo and Hope are reuniting on the Beyond Salem 2. And here's the thing. There's a picture from the show where it shows Hope looking like she's in heaven because she's with Bo and their dead son. And what does that mean? I'm definitely going to display the picture, but you can see for yourself. It looks like they're in heaven, and Peter Reckle, who plays Bo, the last time he came back, not as a ghost, but as a person, he said he got tired of the fans asking him to come back to the show, and he didn't want to come back to the show, but he felt like they needed closure. They needed to see Bo die on screen, and so they can sort of let the character go. That didn't stop people from wanting Bo to come back, but I don't have information saying this for sure. I'm only going by this picture. But Christian Alfonso, who plays Hope, also said the same thing. She said she felt disrespected, in their decision where they wanted her to go away for months, and they said they would bring her back with a new storyline. She says she will never be on the show again. Now, what if, and I'm saying what if, Christian decided to come back to the show to do the same thing Peter did and send, Hope off happily ever after, where fans will get to see Hope die on screen, be reunited with Bo and their son that died, and sort of have their happily ever after ending, just like they're doing for Ben and Sierra. So, like I said, I'm only going by the picture, but that's what it looks like to me, because there's been no word on. They've been talking about people who are going to be on Beyond Salem 2 that'll eventually be on the regular show, like Steve's daughter that's going to be a main character on the show after Beyond Salem. So I haven't heard anything about Hope coming back to the show. So this really could be a way to send them off happily ever after and move on. But based on the spoilers, some people speculated that somehow, some way, Bo will come back to life. Although, Peter has made it clear that he doesn't want to be on long term. So, you can tell me in the comment section if you feel like this is what they're going to do. Send Bo and Hope off happily ever after in the next life. Or do you think they'll find some way to bring Bo back to life and have them together in the land of the living? We're going to move on to Will and Sonny, where we have a situation where once again the actor that plays Will does not want to be on the show. He has a job in Atlanta that he likes and enjoys, and he wants to stick with that, and he wants to only be on the show reoccurring. So Will and Sonny are once again one of those pairings that, they just kind of work together. Do you break? It's the same thing with Abigail and Chad. Do you break them up? Do you let the character Sonny go back to Arizona? You know, or are Will and Sonny the next on the chopping block where they'll do something for Will to be gone? And I feel like they would probably break them up. Now, Paul is going to be also on Beyond Salem 2. I'm not saying he's coming back, but I would love for Paul and Will to get back together. Or even Sonny and Leo, somehow, some way, yin and yang, opposites attract, that something like that happens. But based on what they're saying about not wanting to write for half couples, Will and Sonny definitely fit that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Lucas and Sami and EJ. Now, the one actress that will always be welcome on Days of Our Lives is Alison Sweeney. She is a ratings juggernaut. Fans love her, and they've watched her grow up on screen. So Ron has said in an interview in the past that anytime Alison Sweeney is available, they will take her for as long as they can get her. But what does this mean about Sami's pairings? Because we know Sami and Lucas aren't going to get married. So they're engaged now. At the wedding, most likely that's when she's going to find out Lucas is her kidnapper. They already paired EJ with Belle. And Ron said in, once again, another interview I read, that, EJ and Belle were surprised that he feels that they have chemistry and that right now they're exploring that. So EJ is safe because he's got Belle to fall back on, Nicole, whatever Eric's back, so let's take Nicole out the equation. But that's another actor who wants to be a part of the show. And we love Sami. And, we know that she's not staying because if Alison Sweeney was on contract, we probably would have heard about it by now. So Sami is coming in for July sweeps. She'll probably find out about Lucas and leave town again. Probably to go be with her other daughter that's, off screen in anger, especially with EJ with Belle. She may feel like she just needs to take some time or a break. So, but what does this mean for Lucas? So, I don't think this is going to help Lucas's, being on the show. So he may be a casualty of, once again, and this is speculation. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but of being off the show as well. Maybe go to rehab, something, I don't know. But Lucas, Sami, and EJ, we once again have couples where one actor does not want to sign a long-term contract, which would be Alison Sweeney. So that shakes up the pairings that, she's with. And so now it's on you. So I told you this is a Soap Fam special addressing the rumors and the possibilities of multiple exits coming up. So let me know in the comment section what you think. How do you feel about these exits? Because it's not about the show doing the exodus and just getting rid of people. It's people not wanting to be on the show that are willing to just give you a little bit of time when they need full time. So are you happy? Are you sad? What are you thinking? I'll see you in the comments and, let's talk about it. Thanks for watching.